Christian Horner's speech was leaked, and I want to go through it with you. We'll watch it and react to it because I think there are some pertinent, F1 centric threads at which we need to pull. What does it mean? Why was the footage even leaked to Sky Sports F1? You can hear people talking and bloody phones going off while Christian Horner's giving a heartfelt speech, at some point crying. Let's watch it first and then we'll talk about it. Roll the clip, Cameron.
By Red Bull that operationally I will no longer be involved with the business or the team moving forward from after this gathering. I will still remain employed by the company, but operationally the baton will be handed over. And that obviously is came as a shock, obviously to myself, but obviously what I've had time to do is to reflect over the last 12 hours or so, and I wanted to stand in front of all of you to break this news and just express my gratitude to each and every single member of the team that has given so much during the last 20 and a half years that I've been here. When I arrived 20 years ago with a few less grey hairs, I walked into a team I didn't know what to expect, but I was immediately welcomed, and out of two rundown buildings we started to build what became a powerhouse in Formula One. Watching and being part of this team has been the biggest privilege in my life. Seeing the team
standing ovation settings. I mean, not a dry eye in the house there. However, there are rebuttals, counter arguments. Why is that person filming in the first place? If Christian Horner, if all of those Red Bull Racing personnel members, the team were pulling and pushing in the same direction, then there would be no leak. That's a very personal moment. That's a leaving speech. So why was it leaked then, chat? Because Christian Horner, for the avoidance of doubt, had cheesed off some of those team members. Not every single one of those Oracle Red Bull Racing team personnel and employees were singing from the same hymn sheet. Some of them wanted Hingam, mention no names, Helmut Marko, Jos Verstappen, etc., Oliver Mintzlaff. Mention no names, Mark Mateschitz, Red Bull GmbH. They weren't all pulling in the same direction. There were moles at each and every single juncture. Let's go through what he said, because I think there are some techie bits in there. Operationally, I will no longer be involved with the business for the team. Operationally, is that a caveat? I don't think so. I think that's a leaving speech. I think that's translation for I have been sacked. And for the avoidance of doubt, Christian Horner was told yesterday, Tuesday. That's important for a couple of different reasons. Ordinarily, the news would have leaked on Tuesday, therefore, but Christian Horner, being the team man that he is, inspirational leadership settings, knew that there was only one way to do this. He did not want for his team to find out about what had happened, that he'd been relieved of his duties by dint of a press release. And that's admirable. I think that's worthy of note. A man must have a code, and his team, I don't know, you've always got to stand behind the Wolf of Wall Street settings now. It's got to be one of these. I'm not leaving. Christian Horner has gone through too many things with that team, some of those people in that team, to just allow them to find out that he's leaving via a press conference. He had the news frozen and wanted to be at Milton Keynes factory, Red Bull Racing, first thing on Wednesday. Tekie, he continues and he says, operationally, I'll no longer be, I wouldn't pay too much attention to the caveat operationally, as if somehow Christian Horner is going to be doing a different role, some sort of ambassadorial role. I don't think so. And you can take that one to the bank. This is a leaving speech. This is heavily caveated, literally, but but it's as terms as its meaning. This is just him going on gardening leave, meaning therefore that he can't rock up as a team principal. And I don't know, Scuderia Ferrari, the red car with a yellow badge and black prancing horse atop, next race weekend. Horner continues moving forward after this gathering. I still will remain employed by the company, but operationally the baton will be handed over. That sounds like gardening leave to me, chat. 3 to 6 months, he won't be able to move on. Adrian knew he had the same thing, left the organisation but couldn't pick up a pen and a pad at Aston Martin until February this year, if I recall correctly. I wanted to stand in front of all of you and break this news. That, ladies and gentlemen, is admirable. I can't hate it. I won't hate it. A man must have a code. For all the skullduggery, for all of Christian Horner's sledging and brinksmanship, a man must still have a code. He was determined to freeze the news and ensure that his team heard this news out of his own mouth, the horse's mouth. He goes on, and here's where it gets a bit teary and emotional from Christian Horner. He says, I wanted to stand in front of you and break the news and just express my gratitude to each and every single team member. Watching and being part of this team has been the biggest privilege. Cue tears. You can't even finish off that sentence because this is what it means to him. In essence, Red Bull is the house that Horner built. They are nothing. They would be nothing without him. The youngest team principal, one of the most pioneering, swashbuckling disruptor of a team principals that you'll ever see in F1. And for that, he deserves credit. Sports etiquette wasn't always his thing, but he turns around his cap and he gets in the face of the opposition and races hard. Build yourself a fudging car. The irony is not lost on me that ultimately that bar for which he will be remembered is why ultimately he got sacked from Red Bull Racing. But yet and still there is edifying, no redeeming feature in Christian Horner. I've said it a gazillion times. If we're going to take one team principal into the trenches with me, he has a name, and his name is Christian Horner. He simply got too big for his britches. 20 years as TP is in F1. Is it? No kidding. John, you're very, very kind. And Freddie, are welcome. I'm glad that you're getting your first live in. A slightly curtailed one, but I wanted to bring you that and react to it. It's interesting. It is interesting. Some of those Red Bull team members will have a load of love for Christian Horner. They too were sobbing, some of them. But in stark contrast, some of them are in the back lurking, filming a very personal moment. Christian Horner sobbing as he makes his leaving speech. Don't read too much into this operational stuff. That's Christian Horner's leaving speech. And as at the time of writing, he will be on gardening leave. The big question that I put forth to the room, a non-rhetorical one, is where does he go next? Scuderia Ferrari? Alpine maybe, or another F1 team, or does he ride off into the distance? As vengeful as I think Christian Horner is, as we know him to be, I would put forth this as my principal proposition, where I a betting degenerate. Christian Horner will end up at Scuderia Ferrari. John Elkann has always wanted it, so for him to supersede one Frederick Vasseur, a materially underperforming Frederick Vasseur season to date, I guess that they might be having those conversations in real time as at the time of writing. What are we doing here?